the amount of time it would have somebody taken to get into that experience, to having those skills, it compresses like 10, somebody investing for 10 years, and they have learned, they have made a lot of more mistakes, they've been through market cycle, they've been through that phase. So somebody being a partner up on that deal, like all that time, has already been compressed and saved. So you are exclusively investing in Ontario, or which province?
Yes, I have been exclusively investing in my own backyard right now. I'm also um, actively running, or I've partnered with somebody to open a division of a property management company locally as well. So really know this market, and it is a good market. I mean, I know some people don't like Ontario because of our landlord tenant laws, but the appreciation really is far better than several other provinces. And I think when you're an experienced investor and you know the rules and you are very diligent with choosing your tenants, screening them, then you can mitigate a lot of the risk. And it really is a lucrative market. So I'm sticking to this one for now.
Yes, that is great. And then one thing I always say is, like cash flow will pay the bills, but that appreciation, that, passive appreciation, and also like the forced appreciation will make you wealthy. That 10 grand, 20 grand cash flow won't make you wealthy, but that $1 million, million and a half increase in equity build up will, increase your net worth. You can leverage your net worth to, do the bigger projects. So don't only get fixated that, somebody only needs to invest that the building is, only for the cash flow.
Right.
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 At one point, like everybody, if they are investing wisely, they will be able to replace their income, from the rental property cash flow. But we also need to think about where is the passive appreciation.
Right. And if you get enough assets lined up and you ladder them, then you have that equity every 5 years, right, on refis. And um, I prefer those bigger chunks over the $100 cash flow, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's great. And then let's talk about how you became this creative financing queen.
Because I'm self-employed all my life, so
Yes.
it's really a challenge um, to have financial institutions lend me money, whether that was, on my personal mortgage or whatever. And it's so ironic because I have an excellent credit score. I get all these offers for unsecured credit, like $25,000, credit cards and $60,000 lines of credit, unsecured. And
Mhm.
they just keep throwing all this unsecured credit at me. But when I go for a mortgage, like it's like pulling teeth. So I've had to learn over the years to be a little more creative with financing, like all legal,
Yeah.
but just not take no for an answer. Like I just had to keep digging and find alternative ways to make things happen. Like cosigner, private mortgages, vendor take back mortgages, those kind of things. So you have to do what you have to do, and and you get good at it along
Yes,
the way.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
then I love that taking not like taking that no for, like no for answer, right? Like we are women and we are go-getters, and we will we will get things done. Doesn't matter what happens. We
Don't
want
tell me
something.
no.
Yes, yes. We want something, we will make it happen, right? So,
That's right.
and then the other thing is sometimes, when we don't have all the resources what we need, and or what we don't have, our brain cells work, our brain works. What can I do, what I have, and what can I go out in the universe, and how do I do that, right? And then like this creative financing, it has not been it's not new, but not a lot of people know about it, right? Like all these and then for some people, if they even they know, they heard about it, somebody else doing, but it's like a lot of hesitation. How do I do that, and can I do that? And I think that's it. It's one thing that to know something, and it's a very different thing to do something about it.
And I just do it out of necessity, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, I just had to do it all my life, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of different techniques, and yeah, they work, and that's what's got me to where I am today.
Nice, that's great. So you acquired properties in Windsor, and you are now owner of another business, property management. And Jan, I think I didn't say, I had never said to you before, but I really love that because you did not go out there and started from scratch. You partnered up with somebody. That is really, really smart.
Right?
Somebody already has figured out the system, somebody already has known that what works, what does not work.
That's right. And so, like, it was part of, I was on a mastermind retreat, and of course we all know as investors we want active income for taxation purposes,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So part of my mastermind was to open a property management company, and then having an interview with Andre from Kingston, and he has a property management company, and I thought, well, why not just partner with him? So his company runs all the day-to-day stuff. Like, they have
Yes.
all the systems. They have, all I do is provide the service providers, the plumber, the HVAC, the um,
Tradespeople.
yeah, handyman, cleaners, all those kind of things. And they take care of all the day-to-day stuff. They collect the rents. They do, the advertising for the leasing. Um, they take care of all that. I'm like investor relations. That's my contribution. They do all the day-to-day stuff. And that's what I love to do. I love to network. I love investor
Yes.
relations, right?
Yes, and
So
that's great. And then being helping the investors find a property management company that is also run by investors. It's a
exactly.
win-win.
Right? And that's what we're trying to project, is that we are investors, so we know how to increase the value of your property. We're very, very, very careful when we're selecting tenants. So it goes through a lot of processes and checks and all those kind of things. And we do quarterly walkthroughs to check to see, if there is water leaks, if there's make sure the smoke alarms are working, turn off the outside water, in the fall. All little things that will protect your property and increase the value of it.
Right. And the other thing is, I really strongly, believe is that owning a property, that acquisition is a very, very small part. After the property is acquired, like the running, that property management company, how that property is being managed, is huge. Like the operations, like the tenants cleaning, paying the bills, paying, and making sure that how do we decrease expenses, how do we make sure that the property is clean and run smoothly, that you're able to increase its revenue. Because if that's not done, that refinance down the years is not going to look very sweet, right?
That's
So
right.
a
And
lot of
make
people.
things happen quickly, right? Like, we just took over a property that another company had been managing, and a duplex. One of the units was empty for 5 months,
Oh my
and
God.
it hadn't even been cleaned yet. So I don't know how they thought they were going to show it, or like, they weren't obviously promoting it very much, but there had to be a quite a bit of work done in there to clean it up and get it ready to show. And
Mhm,
then we found out right at the end that there was a leak,
mhm.
that in behind. So then we had to have the come back in, and had that not been found until the tenant was placed, then that would have been a disaster. Anyway, so the cupboards had to be pulled out and fix the leak, and galvanized pipe that had split. So yeah, just being on top of things, because running it like it's our own investment, to
Right.
see through those eyes. I think that's really important.
Yes, that's amazing. And also the loss of rent for 5 months, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then not being cleaned, and then also like the that's a huge. So what are you working on right now? And tell us a little bit more about your projects, and how can investors reach out, and they can partner up.
Well, I'm I'm always working on lots of things. Lots of meetings and collaborations, and I'm working on some refis right now. I'm working on putting together a RSP mortgage. If anybody
Nice.
has registered funds, um, yeah, meeting with somebody else about a Windsor multifamily. Um, yeah, Zoom calls with collaborations, all kinds of things. Uh, whatever anybody has that they want to get into, I probably have access to it.
Nice, nice. That's great. That's really,
Right.
really great. Yes.
And that's all about networking, right?
Mhm.
And just collaborating with other people, and
Mhm.
yeah,
Leveraging the network, leveraging other skills and other experience.
exactly.
That's
Just
amazing.
Friday night, I was out with friends of mine locally, the wife, and we were discussing creating another company that could do work for the property management company, and you know what I mean. So
That's
just
amazing.
yeah, just always, that's my creative mind, is
Mhm.
how can we work together. um yeah,
And
and
create a win-win solution for everybody. There are, and I think one more thing is, looking at there is a problem, and knowing that there is a problem, and also that something is running smoothly, but how can we run it even better?
exactly, exactly.
That is a knowledge, and that is the intellectual currency, and coming up with the solutions. And that is also huge, that let's do this, because if maybe that thing was presented before, maybe not, but that is a creative mind, is the biggest asset, right? Like our brain is our biggest asset, right? And
Right.
that's huge. So thank you so much, Jan, for coming to the show. And so what one last thing, what is the one quote you go by that change your life, or always remember? Yeah.
um well, I think I've shared this before. I always raise my daughters, which there's no such thing as can't,
Mhm.
right? If we want to do something, we figure out how we're going to do it.
That's it. I strongly believe it. And like, I wanted to get into care homes, and I did not know how. And being an immigrant, coming up with two bags, and then maybe I had like $500 in my bank account, and like a student, and I think I figured out, and I believe that if Jan can do it, if Kiran can do it, and I think every person can do it, right? We just need to look into how can we do it together, or there are sources out there, right? Like, that somebody can tap into if they want to do it alone. Thank you so much, Jan. Thank you for coming to the show, and amazing to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you too. Thanks for having me.